Hello, so my name is Tavia and I am the business owner for Ross Garden Adventures. We are located in Mount Vernon, Washington, and this year will be our first really big growing season. Last year I focused primarily on my tubers reproducing. I only had, I think, about 20-ish tubers at the time. And when I saved some this fall, it increased by quite a bit. There's some of them that didn't really bloom, produced very minimal tubers. So I'm currently trying to wake up some of those and kind of experimenting with them to try and bring them back and get them producing again. So in this video, this is going to be all about tuber reproduction, or dahlia reproduction, really. Just all encompassing. So, because there's so many different ways you can reproduce for tubers, and I'm going to go through that information. Yeah, and then I'm also going to show you the dahlias that I have currently waking up, the dahlias that I've ordered, and also I got some of the dahlias that I ordered. So there's also part of the video is going to be me putting those tubers into pots and getting them starting to wake up. So yeah, come along and let's go take a look at the tubers. This first one is called My Love, and this is the one that was like ready to go when I planted it. It's grown quite a bit actually since I planted it a week ago. It's already got leaves on it, so this will be a good one, ready for taking cuttings here very soon. This next one is, let's see here, Mairn or Sylvia. I've seen it labeled as both. Get the focus to, there we go. So I'm not seeing anything just yet, but I would not be surprised if I see something in a couple days. This next one, oh, I lost my little tagger. Okay, so this next one is Platinum Blonde. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything just, oh, nope, there it is right there. Yep, so we got one coming up right there. So that's awesome, because that was one that the person I bought it from wasn't sure she was going to actually have enough for me. So, all right, and then this one, oops, it's called Mrs. Kennedy, and her eye is right there. She's already starting. Happy to see it. Gogain Fubuki. Let's see if we can find anything on this one. It's actually kind of funny. I keep looking with my eyes, but it might be better to look through the camera. Nothing so far. Next one is called Moonlight Blend. Let's see. I know I saw something on here. Oh, there we go. I actually got a few of them. That's exciting. And this one is called Ferncliff Tropics, and that one's very visible. It's going to be quite beautiful, as you can tell. It's like a nice burgundy color on that cutting, or what will be a cutting. Oh, there's another one right there. Got a couple eyes. This one is Chimicum Nanji. Not seeing anything awake just yet, but I'm sure it's coming. This one is one of my tubers that I'm trying to wake. It's called Offshore Dream. I'm trying to wake a few of my own because there were some are test because I'm like, those don't look the best, but it might still work. Don't see anything on it yet, but the tubers still look great, so I'll keep waiting on that one. This one is another Offshore Dream. Not the most beautiful, but I think she'll still produce something for me. Probably in that area there. This one I've been very excited for because we lost our girl Daisy Duke a year ago, just over a year ago. So I am very excited to have this beauty. If it'll focus. Now, as you can see, she's already waking up beautifully. I'm excited to have a lot of her because she's actually stunning. This one is another one of my own. It's called Caribbean Fantasy. Not seeing anything yet. Hopefully soon. Another Caribbean Fantasy. This one's another test because this is one of my earlier tuber clumps that I cut. And I didn't fully know what I was doing and what I should and shouldn't save. So it doesn't really have a crown on it. So we'll see how that happens. If it happens. It's another test. This one is Bracken Sarah. She's popping through right there. She's already waking up. Welcome to the party. Another beautiful one. This one's Sweet Natalie. It's another one of mine. And you can see her waking up right there. Very excited because she is a beautiful flower. Another Sweet Natalie. Really want to increase tuber on this one. She is a stunner. And there she is, waking up. And this last one on this one is called Hawaii. And she's a new one to me. Don't see her awake just yet, but I think it's coming very soon. All right, this one is my middle shelf, and this one is a lot of my own tubers that quite a few of them I'm testing to see if they'll even produce anything because they didn't necessarily winter well. So this one is Kelsey Annie Joy, which is a collarette. Looks like she might be waking up. I hope so, because that's a really pretty one too. And then I have 3 Ranchos, which I really love. It's a really pretty water lily. Really nice orange color. Yeah, we'll see. That's another testing one. This is this one. It didn't really produce that many tubers. So we'll see kind of what happens with that. Do my best. Oh, that one might be. Oh, geez. Come on. I think I see something right below, which would be really nice. Actually, I have a friend who wants some cuttings of that. So this one is Nick Sr. I didn't get any flowers from this one last year, but it did produce tubers. So I'm hoping with better luck this year with it. I don't see anything waking up just yet, but I'm sure it will. I'm hoping it will. I'm putting the energy into the universe that it will. Another Nick Sr. This one has a few waking up right there. Yeah. So you got a couple there. That one's going to do well. Got Linda's Baby. This is another one that's a tester because I don't really have that much of a crown on it. But it's still a really solid tuber, so I have a feeling it's going to do okay. Another Linda's Baby. Bum, bum, bum. don't see anything yet, but we'll see. Peaches and cream. This is another test because this one was really tiny when I cut it, so we shall see. I see an eye, but I don't see anything happening with it just yet. So another peaches and cream. I really love peaches and cream, so I hope I get a lot of cuttings off this one because she is gorgeous. All right. And this is my last peaches and cream that I have waking up right now. I have more peaches and cream I can wake up. I'm just trying to test the ones that I don't think are the best and see if they'll give me anything. Here is Little William. That one has an eye, but nothing happening just yet. This one's another test because she's a little shriveled. It's another one that didn't really give me any flowers last year. I think. And then these ones are October Sky, which I did get a couple of flowers last year on these, but not a whole lot. I also got started kind of late on my dahlias, so I'm not surprised. I think that one should be good. I think that one's good too. This tray is my kind of bigger ones and kind of awkward ones to put in a 4-inch pot. So they're all in this flat tray here. And they're mostly ones that I got from a local flower farmer. So, and they're doing really well. So we've got Rosendale Peach here. You can see her waking up right there. Rosella. Don't see it waking up just yet, but I definitely think it will. It's a beautiful tuber. Patches. It's one of the awkward ones. Yeah, I think she'll wake up. Just waiting for it to happen. This one is Melina. Another kind of awkward one, but hoping to get a good amount of cuttings off this one because she is another just stunning one. We'll see. Make sure she's sitting in there nice. This one is Just Peachy. Another beautiful one that is absolutely humongous. And got lots of eyes on that one. So I should get lots of cuttings from it. And this one is Evelyn. I'll grab it here. I don't see anything yet, but no, I think it'll happen. It's a nice tuber. This one's David Howard, which got some beautiful little cuttings gonna come up there. Quite a few of them actually. That'll be nice. This one, if I can get out here, is Creme de Cassis. So that's that one. And a couple more on that side. So that'll be nice to have quite a few of. This one here is Mango Madness. Very nice cutting coming from that. It's going to be a lot of really beautiful flowers. Lilac Time. Not seeing any awake yet, but I think that one will be a good producer. And yeah, that is all of my current cuttings, or waking up tubers. I'll have some more here very soon, which I'll go over here next with you. So today I got my order from Viola's Floor. It came in the most sweet package. She sent me this little envelope inside the package with my name on it, and with this little sweet thank you card. So sweet. And it came with a holiday card of her and her family, and then she also sent me some seeds. So it's honeywort, pride of Gibraltar, honeywort basically, the obedient plant, the zinnia mix, mini pastels, and then the linaria money plant. So I was super excited about those. Put these off to the side here. I've already got my pen and my markers ready. And then I have everything in the pots ready to go in tomorrow morning when I get to it. I'm not going to be able to do it today, but so this first one is Bracken Rose. It's a solid tuber. That's large. All right. We got Irish Ruffles, another one I'm super stoked on. Orange Globe. And this one is Cozy Town Gale. Bloomquist Mojo. Hell yeah. Then we got Skipley Spotted Gold. Oh my goodness. So excited. And then Salish Twilight Girl. Holly Hill Orange Ice. KA's Rosie Joe. And Orange Globe. So we are back. This is going to be the end of the video. It's going to have a lot more info in it though. I have some notes to go over. So I'm dubbing this Project Dahlia Tuber Wake Up, just for my own excitement, I guess. And so yeah, I hope you really enjoyed seeing them waking up. It's really cool to me, especially when you see something, because I've been watching them every single day. I check on them. And so to see something that isn't yet woken up, all of a sudden start to wake up. It's really, really exciting. Yeah, it's hard to describe unless you've done it. So as far as tuber production, so this is kind of going to go over dahlia tubers, dahlia tuber production. So we're going to go over all the different ways to produce more tubers. So first and foremost, obviously, reproduction is the tubers. Most people understand and know that tubers are where you get your, or how you reproduce your dahlia. And it's going to come back true every time as long as you're planting that tuber, right? So when you have a plant that's in the ground and it's produced all summer, when you get your first frost of the season is when you want to go out and you want to cut it down to about 6 inches off the ground for that stem, right? And throughout the season, you should be keeping your leaves off the ground to prevent disease and pests. It helps a lot. So that shouldn't be a problem to cut right there. And then once you've done that, you can leave them in the ground a little longer if you want, or you can just go ahead and straight rip them out. So how you do that is with like a pitchfork. You go out, so like say this is the stem of the dahlia, you go out probably about 1.5 feet, stick that in the ground, that pitchfork, and then you just want to lift, and then you want to do that on 4 sides of it. So all 4 sides, you want to lift it, and it'll start coming up. You'll see it come off the ground, kind of like my hand, tubers. And then you can pull it out. And you can leave it like that in storage for a long time, as long as it's, you know, somewhat dry, and it's not going to rot. That's one of the biggest things, is they rot very easily, so you need to be very, very careful with that. Excuse me. So for me, because I had so little this year, as soon as I ripped them out of the ground, I think they sat in a wheelbarrow for like a week, under, like out of the weather in my carport. And then after that, I went through and I cleaned them all with a hose, just rinsed them all off, and then kept them organized with the little, I use Flagger's tape, right before I do dahlia pulling up or digging up. You put Flagger's tape around it so that when you cut it off after the first freeze, you still know what it is, right? So I pulled them all out, cleaned them, and then over the next couple of days, I sat and I just divided them all. I tried this year to store them in paper bags. It actually worked really, really well. And then where I stored them in my carport also was great. The only thing I had to do was I had to bring it in during our major freeze that we had, because it got down to like 6 degrees. So we had them in the house for probably about a week. It wasn't too bad. So I kept them in a room. I turned the heater, or closed the heater, so it was a lot cooler in there than the rest of the house. Yeah, and then they did great, and then I put them back out as soon as the crazy cold weather was gone, and yeah, they're doing awesome. So then when I started waking up my tubers, I started first with my tubers before I got into like the ones that I purchased. But yeah, so that's tubers as far as reproduction from tubers. Now cuttings from tubers, which is currently what I'm doing with waking them up. So you want to do that when you get a tuber and you want to get it. They say if you're not doing it on a big level, to not start it until like February, March. I started a little earlier just because I am kind of wanting to do bigger, and make sure that I get all of the cuttings that I want to get from it, right? So basically what you do is you pot up your tuber, and then I learned from Galena at Microflower Farm to just stand it straight up in a pot, right? So I have it standing, all of them standing up in a pot, except for the weird and kind of awkward ones that are big and, you know, just can't really just stand up in a pot easily. So those ones are laying down in a seed starting tray, just a empty tray with some soil in it. They're just sitting on top. And then when you see growth start to happen or start to wake up, you see the little eyes start to produce. You want to wait until they get a little taller and start producing leaves. You want a couple set of leaves. I would say probably 3 or 4 sets of leaves. And then you just want to kind of wiggle that little cutting off. And then you can put it straight in soil and it should root just fine. Or you can use a rooting hormone, or you can do a root riot cube, I think is what it's called, which is recommended for beginners. I haven't done that. I think I'm just going to straight pot them up and see how they do. I had good luck with cutting straight from the plant last year, doing well. So the cuttings from your tuber that you take to put into a pot, they will always come back true. So whatever tuber it is you planted, it will always come back true. Cuttings from the plant itself, so like say that you're growing your plant and it's gotten to the point where you want to pinch it, right? Because with dahlias, you want to pinch it at a certain height or after a certain amount of leaves in order to increase your flower production in the year and increase stem length as well. So when you take that pinching, you can take it and do the same thing, either rooting hormone, riot cube, or just straight up in the soil and just let it go. And that also will come back true. So it'll come back true to that tuber that you were pulling all of these off, right? The one that will not come back true, the reproduction option, is seeds. So seeds from dahlias, if you want to take those and save them, it will depend upon what it was pollinated with. So if you want to play with that and play with breeding with dahlias, it's really cool the way it works. So if you want to like hand pollinate, so you can put like, what do they say, like organza bags on top of the blooms that you have that you don't want to have pollinated by anyone else. So put the organza bag on, and then when you're ready, you can take your little paintbrush, get the pollen from whatever one you want to cross-pollinate with, put it on the other one, put the organza bag back over, and then wait until that becomes a seed pod. And so then you can kind of play with that and see what kind of traits come out of it. Most seeds that come out of one seed pod are going to be different from the others. But like, for example, Erin from Flowers, she does that a lot. She usually keeps them close to each other as far as what she wants to breed. And it's really, really cool because like she'll plant out those seeds from a particular plant, like who the mother is. She'll do an entire row of those seeds. And then throughout the season, she'll pick which plants she wants to keep. And so she'll, put little tags around them, make notes about which one they are, and that she wants to keep that one. And so she'll pull tubers for that one because she knows that those tubers will come back true. So that's a little bit about dahlia reproduction. It's really cool. It's really fascinating to me. Dahlias have been my favorite flower for a very, very, very long time. And it was kind of funny because story time. It was kind of funny because it was already my favorite flower. And then my sister one day asked me, she was like, dahlias remind me of you. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, because of the way that they appear to be really small, right? Really small, kind of shy, all closed up. And you have no idea what's coming when they bloom. And she said the many, many layers of a dahlia bloom, she said, reminded her of me. And at the time I was going through a messy divorce and dealing with some like healing my own personal traumas and stuff from childhood and from that. And so it's something I really needed to hear, and it was lovely. So yeah, enough about that. So with reproduction and the many different ways you can reproduce your tuber, it can be a great way to recoup your costs. So like say that you bought this really expensive, like really popular brand new tuber that just was released, right? So like say for example, KA's Cinder Rose, which is the one that I really, really want really bad. If you were to buy that at like say $30 for one tuber, right? So here's just some math to kind of help you figure out like why that's okay, and how you can recoup those costs and then some. So you have that one tuber, right? So they recommend from your tuber that you're waking up to get cuttings to only do 10, because if you go any further than that, it can kind of remove some of the energy from that tuber for producing out in the flower farm, right? So you want to make sure you minimize it to 10. So say you've got 10 cuttings, right? You're taking 10 cuttings from the tuber. And then as far as cuttings from the plant as it grows out in the farm, that's unlimited, but we'll say as an example, we'll do 10 because we pinched 10 plants, right? 10 plants off those 10 tuber cuttings. Then you have varied number of tubers that they produce after the season's done, but we'll go with 10 for an example, right? So let's just say, so you've got 10 tuber cuttings, which produce 10 tubers each, right? So that's 10 times 10. And then you have 10 plant cuttings, which also produce the tubers, 10 tubers, as an example, which is 10 times 10 again. So that's 100 plus 100 is 200 tubers. So you get 200 tubers from that one tuber if you maximize this way of doing it. So then your $30 that you spent on your one tuber, divide that by 200, and that doesn't even include what you produced from the one tuber you got initially in the ground, right? But divide that by 200, and that's 15 cents approximately per tuber that you spent. And that's not so bad. And then let's say that you take those 200 tubers for the next season, right? Say that we're in this season right now and you're trying to sell those online. You have 200 tubers now of that plant. If you buy 200 or sell 200 tubers at $30 each, you got $6,000. So that's just some math to kind of open some people's eyes to how incredible this is. On to a different note. So with our property, 6 years before we bought it, it was owned by somebody who did not maintain it at all. His dad tried. He would come over and mow it every once in a while, but then he kind of was like, that's your responsibility. You need to take care of it. But he had moved to Utah, I believe it was. And so he had somebody renting it, and they just did not take care of it at all. So, which made the neighbors quite sad because they love this property. So, they've loved seeing us move in and do a lot of work to clean it up because it was quite a mess. Still a lot to do, but there's quite a bit of grass that we are slowly getting rid of. So we started off with rockscaping. So like there's one corner of our property that's like completely rockscaped. And this is primarily because of the RCs that we got into. We thought it really, really fun to use those for like comps and driving and just having fun out there. But as far as like that grass, the rest of the grass that we need to get rid of, currently I have some silage tarp. It's 20 by 25 on a location in the backyard to kill off the grass. And then I will plant some cover crop, let that grow until it gets like to where it's going to produce seed, because I don't want the seed dropping. Then I'll cover with silage tarp again to kill that off. And then from that point, I can cover it with compost and then just get to planting. It'll be amazing for the soil. It'll be amazing for the plants. Yeah, the whole front yard pretty much is lawn too, and I'm going to do that same thing out there because I want to create this really pretty cottage garden out there. It has like trails going through it and maximize that space as well. So yeah, I was doing some inventory as far as like what our grow spaces are. And I hadn't realized how much space we actually have. I still need to measure it all because I don't know how big everything is. But yeah, it's a decent amount of space on a 0.4 acre piece of land. And that includes the house, which is like a 1,700 square foot house. So, and we have a shop out back. So yeah, not a whole lot of property, but we can maximize it and make the most of it. So, and then there's some unusable plants that I'm going to remove as well. Like there's a bush that kind of grows over our driveway a little bit, and it kind of gets in the way where my husband parks. So I'm going to pull that one out because why? Like they planted it in a terrible spot, so it's going to go bye-bye. And in order to do that, I'm going to cut it to the ground at soil level and just cover with compost and yeah, just let it feed the soil. All right, now we're going to go into the tubers and things for dahlias that I have on the way that I have purchased. So yeah, we're going to start there. So I have, it's not just tubers. So from Galena at Microflower Farm, on May 4th, I get to go pick up some rooted cuttings from her. And I'm really excited because I got into that sale and I was late to it because I was at work and I was like, oh my gosh, I probably missed out on everything. I'm probably not going to get anything, right? And I did miss out on one, but I still got a few of the ones that I really, really wanted. So the ones I'm going to pick up from her on May 4th that I'm really excited about are KA's Bella Luna. She's a beaut. Bloomquist Jean. She's really, really beautiful too. Reminds me of like flames. And then KA's Coral Sea. That is another one that I have been just drooling over for a while now. So very excited about all three of those. And also to go down on May 4th to her property and maybe I'll meet her. That'd be really cool. There's kind of an idea of like ladies from up here where I'm at or around the area, like Snohomish County, Skagit County, Whatcom County, that we should all like get a bus and go down, which I think would be a lot of fun. So now into the tubers. So the tubers that I have already that I've shown you that are waking up to be cut, or yeah, waking up to be cut for cuttings, are from my own stock. I have some that I'm testing out because some of them I'm like, is that going to grow? We'll see. Like TBD on that. But then I also have some from a local lady who, she has a flower farm, and on Facebook it's under Dahlia's Camino Island. Excuse me. And she posts her tubers on Marketplace every year. When she's, ready to get dividing and stuff, she'll post, what she has and people can submit their orders of what they want. Very cost friendly, really easy to work with, super nice lady. So yeah, list of things that I have from her is kind of big, but it's cool. So first thing I have is American Sunset, Bracken Sarah, Cafe Au Lait, Chimicum Najee, Creme de Cassis, Daisy Duke, David Howard, Diamond Rebel, Evelyn, Hawaii, Holly Hill Black Beauty, Just Peachy, Kogain Fubuki, Lilac Time, Maren or Sylvia, you hear that name, both of them for the same thing. Mango Madness, Milena Fleur, Mrs. Kennedy, My Love, Patches, Pinelands Princess, Platinum Blonde, Red Velvet, Rosella, Rosendale Peach, and Seattle. So it's a pretty extensive list from her. All of them are absolutely stunning and I'm really excited about them. And then we have one order that I did through Viola's Floor. So she and I have been in communication for, probably about a year now, off and on. And she's just one of the nicest people. Her name is Kelly. Super, super nice. And we were just kind of communicating about, things that we have and if we wanted to trade anything. And she actually had a lot of things that I really wanted. So I managed to get those and they actually arrived yesterday. So I've already got them potted up. So what I got from her is Orange Globe, Irish Ruffles, which is, one that I've wanted for a long time. Cozy Town Gale, another just stunner. Bracken Rose, so I'll have Bracken Rose and Bracken Sarah. Now I just need Bracken Palomino. Bloomquist Mojo, Skipley's Spot of Gold, oh my gosh, KA's Rosie Joe, sorry, I'm getting all giddy, Holly Hill's Orange Ice, and Salish Twilight Girl. So those are all ones that I'm like very, very excited about. And then the next one I have is from Blackburn Gardens. They are actually right down the road from me, so I get to actually pick them up, which is nice that she had that option, because, yeah, it'd be kind of silly to ship for a neighbor. So from her, I have KA's Mocha Joe, High Suntan, Cornell Bronze, Wizard of Oz, and then I also got her grab bag that basically is going to be filled with tubers that aren't so pretty, but will probably be some of the higher sought after ones. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, because there were some items that she had that were sold out and I didn't get. But she had posted something about how her grab bag will probably include those items, just in an uglier tuber. I'm like, I don't care if it's ugly, send it to me. I'll take it. And then, so as you've seen all of my inventory of Dahlia tubers this year, if there's anything that you really, really want, you should let me know, whether it be in the comments or you can DM me on Instagram. It'd be really cool to see kind of what the market is, what your desires are. And that way I can make sure that I get that inventory for you. So there was one sale I did miss out on, which I kind of knew I was going to miss out on it because it started at 10 a.m. on Saturday, and I had a RC comp that we were hosting here at 10 a.m. So there wasn't a chance I was going to be part of that. But anyway, it was Stonehouse Dahlias. And she has KA's Cinder Rose that I have been fawning over and drooling over for a few months now, ever since it was released on the internet. And I want it so bad. But I was kind of disappointed I missed it. But then I went and I looked at their at Santa Cruz Dahlias page, and then also at Stonehouse Dahlias, and they were both talking about how they have other sales coming up. I think it was like April and May, I believe, that they'll have those options again. So there's other opportunities. Plus, you know what? If I miss out on them again, it's okay. I'll wait till next year, or maybe there's somebody I can talk to who's going to do cuttings from it, and I can manage to do a trade or something on that. We'll see. There is just, yeah, it's a lot of inventory, but it's all so beautiful, and I cannot wait. And I'm going to organize them, I think, by color, because I kind of want this rainbow to be out in the yard. I think it's going to be beautiful. And yeah, just a lot of work to do, which is kind of nice right now, because right now I don't have a full-time job anymore. So, well, I do, but I don't have a brick and mortar job, because right now I'm doing, sorry, the puppy's whining. Right now I'm doing a lot of work for our side business, Ross Creative Customs. So I'm doing a lot of design work and invoicing and managing the books and things like that, because I'm designing, but I'm also the business manager for the business. So there's a lot of work with that, and I'm also doing the marketing, social media management, all those things. So I definitely have still a full-time job. I just am not bringing in a regular income, because this is a brand new business. So there's a lot of not paying ourselves right now, which is fine. It's what we want to do. So if you want to follow that, we do metal fabrication, welding, signs, furniture, and much more. We actually recently did router guides. So I have a friend who does woodworking, and he was using these guides that were acrylic for the different shapes that he wants to do. But with the acrylic, the wood was getting it to chip. So it was chipping the acrylic and making it so the router really wasn't following true, right? So we actually made him some 1/4-inch steel guides. We made 3 of them and just shipped those this morning. And he was like, well, I'm really excited. We have other ideas buzzing that we want to come to you for. I'm like, perfect. We'll continue collaborating. Really excited about that. So we've done some address signs for people. We have a name sign that we did for someone's hunting cabin that they're building right now. Yeah, and then a few other random little things that were for RCs and stuff like that, because my husband's still very much a part of the RC community, and he really likes to make things for the RC community. So we have like a 3D printer and things like that. So, yeah, and then we have some things in the works. So we'll see. But if you want to follow along with that journey as well, Instagram is at Ross Creative Customs. Website is www.rosscreativecustoms.com. I also plugged this in my last video, so I'm sure you saw it. But I just want to put that out there. We will have an Etsy account once the issues that they're having get worked out. They have this big ticket item that's been an issue that now me being a part of it has been escalated to their engineering team, and yeah, it's a nightmare. But anyway, once that gets fixed, we'll be good to go on that. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, if you want to follow me on IG with this Ross Garden Adventures, that is my IG tag, just at Ross Garden Adventures. There's no in between anything. My website for my blog is www.adventuresinthegarden.com. Yeah, and then on here, if you could like, comment, subscribe, share, please share. This is great information to share with people that don't know. Yeah, and I would love to continue building my community here of people who really just want to learn. I'd like to learn with you because I am still learning. Dahlias just happen to be a passion of mine, so I know quite a bit about them at this point, but I still have a lot to learn on this journey. So yeah, look forward to videos about work on the property, about building my flower stand. Yeah. If you want to see videos about what we do at Ross Creative Customs, let me know. I can also do that, just so you can kind of see what we do. Yeah, and I hope you guys stick around and hang out with me while I go through all this stuff, because it's going to be a fun journey, I think. I'm really excited to continue getting my creative blood flowing. It's been really inspirational and flowing like crazy ever since I started designing and doing more with my garden. It feels really good. I feel happy, very, very happy, like deeply, deeply happy. So, yeah, I think it's going to be good. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. But I'm very, very excited to continue this journey, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care of you.